This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We got all kinds of cookie cutter Cuban last names for you. Would you like Martinez?
Oh, no, bro.
Hernandez,
You're not going to take my Haitian heritage from me here. No, sir.
So what, are you claiming Haitians are also late all the time? I worked at a Haitian station. Those people work, bro. They work.
I'm claiming
they're hard workers.
That time is a made-up construct. Time and being on time is a Western construct. I arrive when I can arrive within the set limitation.
You're definitely Cuban. Yeah, you're definitely. What do you got? How many Cubans in your building? Who are you hanging out with? Pepe,
man.
Who you hanging out with?
Sometimes you know the business, bro. Sometimes cars come in. Sometimes they take 2 minutes. Sometimes they take 25 minutes. This was a 25-minute call from, respectfully, the ones who sign my checks every week. So I got to take that, and if it lasts for 2 minutes or 2 hours. So I appreciate you waiting and not having Cuban jokes waiting for me when I got here.
Oh, but, I got Cuban jokes. I got Cuban jokes for miles. When anybody's late, it's automatic. I can do those things. Remember, I'm allowed to do those things because I'm Cuban.
Also,
so I can do those things.
Nah, look, man, I had I have a weekly call every Monday. Generally, they're about 10 minutes. This week was about 29, 30 minutes. So,
Marcel, please, more Tua and more Tua and more Tua, okay? And so for 25 minutes, they just kept telling you more Tua and more Tua and more Tua, right? That's basically what the conversation was all about.
Look, man, we got a what's it called? We obviously have to game plan for this week. We want to do a little bit of review from last week because look, last week, Dolphins fans, y'all went through a lot. Dolphins riders, we went through a lot. It was a busy week, man. It was Tua on Sunday. It was Tua on Monday and Tuesday. It was a hurricane on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It was Tua again on Thursday. It was Tua the NFL and NFLPA on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, there was no break. There was so many things happened last week that when, you know, I'm on this call, we're discussing like, okay, what could we have done, maybe done better? What could we have done this? The end of the week was stressful. And I was like, honestly, I wouldn't even stress at the end of the week. I mean, I was happy to be able to do all this and escape a hurricane or like get out of there before the hurricane hit. And the person I was talking to on the phone goes, oh, that's right. Like that, I almost forgot about that happening. I was like, yeah, you know, privilege talking. It's easy to forget about when you're not in the state. But like that on top of all of this stuff revolving the team and the league, man, like it was just, we had a lot to go over. And
so let me ask you something. When we go over this, because there's a lot of people pointing fingers at the doctors, at the NFL and NFLPA, the Mike McDaniel. I got to tell you something. I just find it to be a lot of soapbox bullshit because, quite frankly, the kid was cleared by whatever protocols they had on Sunday. That doctor followed it, and as I've said on this show. Unless there's lawsuits, I'm not believing in anything because apparently you're telling me malpractice happened. So if malpractice happened, somebody's suing somebody, Tua, NFLPA, NFL, or maybe the doctor will sue the NFL, or maybe we won't hear anything ever again because they'll use HIPAA for it because they're not going to tell us exactly where he screwed up. And in the end, you can point fingers at anybody you want. There's only one person to blame in all of this, and it's Tua Tagovailoa. And no one else. There's no one else to blame. You got to let go of the ball, kid. Thursday had nothing to do with Sunday. Thursday had to do with, as Alan Poupart just put it, you hung onto the ball for 5 seconds on that play, and you let a fat guy get to you. Just like you let two fat guys get to you in Alabama and blow out your hip. Just like you let somebody else get to you and blow out your ankle. So every time you have a major injury, it's because you continue to play hero ball, holding on to the ball. And against New England, he almost either injured himself or turned over the ball on 2 or 3 occasions where he was trying to play hero ball. And so in the end, if we really want to be brutally honest, if we really want to look in the mirror, he was balling on Thursday. All he had to do was do what he never does, Let go of the goddamn ball, dude. The play is over. Live for another play. And that's what needs to be asked of Tua Tagovailoa, which I will ask the next time he's at a podium. I will definitely ask him because somebody's got to ask him, brutally honest. Yo, all these problems, you bring them on, dude. You hang on to the ball. You keep wanting to play hero ball. So now everybody else is getting to blame. So protect your wife, protect your family, protect your teammates, protect your coaches, protect yourself, dude. Live for the next play, live for the next drive, live for the next quarter, live for the next week. Throw the effing ball away. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. I know it's cold and callous, but I don't have any sympathy for Jason Pierre-Paul. You want to hang on to the goddamn firecracker? That's your problem, dude. I lit thousands in my lifetime when I was a child, when I was a teenager. I knew to light and run in the other direction.
Oh, here we go.
Stand in front of the bulls and get a horn in your ass? That's your problem. Tua, get rid of the ball. Your thoughts?
Look, here's what I think, because there's a lot to digest here. First of all, I fully believe that Mike McDaniel did not negligently put him in the game because he knew Tua had a possible head injury. I don't think he said, I don't think he was told, it's not likely that he re-injures it, but, it might be a good idea to sit in. I don't think that happened. I don't think that's the case at all. I think what he is telling us is true in that he was told there was no head injury. He was good. And I think that we discussed this last time I was on the show, possibly. I don't know.
I think we did.
NFL coaches don't get in the habit of listening to the public. There's a saying that if you start listening to the fans, you'll be sitting with them.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I know he's smart enough to understand the optics, but I don't think he was paying attention to what, to fan engagement here. I think he heard his doctors and everything else was tuned out. I believe that. I also believe that the doctors followed concussion protocol rigidly to a T. I think they followed the guidelines in place and cleared him based on that.
Yeah.
That they couldn't prove that his stumble wasn't because of a hyperextended back. I believe Tua answered the questions lucidly and was able to have conversations and knew where he was and knew who the president was. I believe it. I also believe that concussion protocol is flawed. And that is ultimately what failed Tua Tagovailoa this week. I think when the report comes out that we are going to find that the doctor followed concussion protocol to a T, but maybe didn't do the extra mile. Maybe didn't put 2 and 2 together and say, he definitely hit his head. That's not debatable. He definitely hit his head. And his back, he's saying, is messed up. His back is hurting. Your back and spine are connected to your head. Maybe we hold things off a little bit here. Maybe we look a little further into it. I'm not a doctor, so I don't have the medical expert, but maybe we pump the brakes a tad.
Meanwhile, nobody says. But meanwhile, T. Higgins has 2 concussions.
I don't understand how T. Higgins was cleared, and I don't cover T. I don't cover T. Higgins.
What I'm saying is, and now J.J. Watt's heart, got back on track or whatever the hell they and on a Tuesday, and he's playing on Sunday. There are risks to all of this, dude. They choose to make these and take these risks. You know what I'm saying? So let's not also sound so naive. Like, these players want to be out there, dude. They want to be out there. And I don't blame the doctor when Tua's looking at him saying, I'm fine. And he's passing all your tests. What's the doctor supposed
to do? Your hands are essentially tied by the process. Lance, NFL does not listen to the people. NFL listens to money. But they don't listen to y'all on social media. If the NFL listen to the public, y'all tell me how many phone calls you got from the league. I'll tell you how many phone calls I got from the league after writing that story. And then we could say that the NFL listens to the damn public. Respectfully, no, they don't. And coaches, I'm talking about coach, not the league. The coach does not listen to public opinion. Respectfully, of course, you guys matter. I'm not saying you don't matter, but trying to just say how it is here.
I'll say it like it is. They don't give a shit about you. I'll say it like it is. He doesn't have to say it, but I'll say it. They don't give a shit about you. They worry about their bottom line, not yours. You're the suckers that will continue to buy the tickets and the shirts and the hats and show up. So they know that
the money comes from the public. The money comes from the public, but that same public has proven time and time again that they're not going to stop paying for the product. How many people said they were done with the NFL after the national anthem protests?
So silly.
The NFL did crazy numbers that season.
Dude, my favorite part of that. No, Marcel. My favorite part is that is when people says, "I don't want no kneeling in my game," and then I would turn to them and say, "Sir, they're not kneeling in your game. They're kneeling in pregame. They're not going. Just tune in after the national anthem, sir. You'll never see any kneeling again because none of it's going on during the game on first down in the second quarter and 2-minute warning. They're not kneeling at any time. The cameras and the TV companies are showing it to you pregame. It's not during the game. So please stop telling me I don't want no kneeling in my game. It's like, it's stupid. There was no kneeling in the game.
To be honest, man, and during COVID, when there were nobody in the stands,
right.
At least like there are fans, I think, here. I wasn't covering this team during the COVID season, but up in Buffalo, the players are rarely even on the field for the national anthem. It was at a point, I don't even know why they were playing the national anthem to begin with, respectfully, because who was there to stand at attention? They're playing it for us. They're playing it for the players who are in the locker room.
No,
it felt like they're literally. I felt like I was in grade school again, like standing there, hand over my heart at the flag in the recess line before we can go to school or before we can go to class. I don't know, but that is a whole.
I always love the outrage, right? Meanwhile, there's a guy scratching his nuts, sitting on his couch while that national anthem's being played, complaining about the guy that's kneeling. But it's not like he's standing, so respectfully for the flag in his country. Oh, because you've got to be there live. That's the requirement. Or I thought when you just heard it, because we weren't watching anything in school. It came out through a speaker and we stood. So it's the same crap as being home. So if you're so American and you're so patriotic, are you standing at home in your living room with the hand and heart? No, you're not. So give me a break, dude. It's just, again, a lot of reaction for, a lot of hot air reaction, pretty much.
But either way, we're getting, again, whole different. Yeah. I can do a whole podcast episode on that, but I won't. But no, look, man, like I said, I think when the final report comes out, from what I was told, they're hoping within the next week and a half. I think that's what they're going to find is that doctor followed the protocol. I can say, as to borrow a phrase from Mike McDaniel, with 100% conviction that the protocols are flawed because the NFL and NFLPA just changed the protocol after 2 days.
Right.
So
that's why the firing of the doctor is a joke. Firing the doctor.
It was again, in my understanding, it was the mistakes made were not necessarily medical. And I hate doing this. I hate being that. I know something you don't know, guy, but like I'm a little sworn to secrecy until we get a little closer to this thing actually being released. My understanding is that the mistakes were not medical. He followed the protocol. He followed the protocol to the T. To the T. It was attitude based and it was common sense based. That's my understanding, and that's as good as I can get until again we get a little closer to the protocol. To the report.
It's all common sense to get JJ Watt right back on the field after restarting his heart on Tuesday, but that's all right. Whatever. It's just hilarious. It really is. To me, like I said, if I don't see any lawsuits, then don't tell me there was anything done wrong, because obviously somebody got injured from it. So if you're really blaming that, then you all of a sudden gave Tua and his lawyers all kinds of ammo by doing this. So I'm just saying, if I don't see a lawsuit, then I just think this is all window dressing and you're using the doctor as a scapegoat to satisfy the lynch mob that's out there, that you've got to lay the blame on somebody. You know what I'm saying? And
I think you got to remember, though,
going after Mike McDaniel is just a joke. Mike can only do what the information's given to him. They say he's all right. Hey, by the way, say what you want. I know Tua's not a big guy, but he is a tough son of a bitch. Okay? And guess what? He also is. He may not be durable. He may not be able to take the hits of Ben Roethlisberger or Cam Newton can take, but I'll tell you this, he bounces back pretty damn quickly, as fast as any big tough guy ever would, because very few people would repair their hip in less than 10 months and be on an NFL field. Okay. And Ethan Carter's been out for 3 weeks, probably going to be another week here at least. And this kid got rocked and got back on the plane with his team. So maybe, just maybe, Tua's a fast healer also at the same time. So he got his brain shook a little bit, and then he was ready to go. He was dropping dimes on Sunday, and he was dropping dimes on Thursday. He just hung on to the ball for 5 seconds on that play. That's your indictment right there, dude. You got to let go of the ball. Got to let go of the ball.
Yeah, concussions are not cut and dry. Everybody is different here. And, you know, he is tough. He is tough. And Mike McDaniel, I think, you have to compartmentalize. And that's what, like, I talked to Jalen Phillips about this in the locker room after the game, you know, asking, you know, how easy is it really to compartmentalize? Like, we hear guys say it all the time, but, like, how do you actually practice that? And, you know, he said that they do it every day. And Mike McDaniel, as a head coach, you have to be able to compartmentalize. Okay, like, I can't be thinking about working with Greer on roster decisions while also how the state of my linebacker room, to also, is Byron Jones healing quickly enough, to also, you know, what's our depth at wide receiver behind Waddle and Hill? What are we going to do when Jones comes back? We signed Craig Kraft. How is Austin Jackson healing? And okay, also, like, here's how to. It's a lot to think about. You have to think about it in blocks. And I think he was, for lack of a better word, so detached from the exact process. And I think purposely detached.
By the way, Marcel, explain to people that the coach is completely out of that decision. Like, he is not included at all. He's only given the final word from the doctor, yes or no, and that's it. That's all he can go by. He's not allowed in where they're checking him out or anything. He's not allowed anywhere near these kind of situations.
That's what I was saying, that he was detached. And I'm getting an emergency call coming in, so I'm going to finish this point real quick. I'm sorry. He was detached by design, because, again, he can't be relied on, respectfully can't be relied on not to make a biased or objective call. And I'll give you a proof of this. There's, in a press conference earlier this week, or maybe it was on Thursday or Friday, he said, you know, we took him to the sideline. That's why we took him to the blue tent and have him evaluated, this, that, and the third. Tua was not taken to a blue tent. Tua went straight from the football field to the locker room because of the gross motor instability threat. So that, if that doesn't prove to you, like, the man wasn't involved in every step of the way, he just got the final result, then I don't know what does. And I'm not doing that to say, like, he is irresponsible. I'm doing that to say, look, I believe him when he says, this is all I know. Like, this is what I know. This is what y'all say you saw, but this is what a neurologist told me. I got to go with the guy whose job it is to do that. I got to let the guy do his job here. So I believe what he's saying. It's a messy situation, all about. It's a bad look for the league, all about. But remember, the NFLPA and the NFL have two separate agendas. One cares about its players exclusively. One cares about the players in the best interest of the business as a whole.
All right.
The best
Do your thing, bro. Go ahead.
For the team is Tua playing on prime time.
All right. Go ahead. Do your thing. I appreciate you. We'll catch up post game with your reports.
Jets.
After hopefully they beat the Jets.
You gotta be able to beat the Jets with the backup, man. But all right, y'all.
You got it. Be good. There you go. And don't forget, you want the finest energy drink on the planet, go to myedgedrink.com. It is delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. And when I tell you that it's delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste, I'm not joking, dude. All right, check it out. Edge Energy Drink, myedgedrink.com. Delicious, smooth, and has zero aftertaste. Can't get it in a store. You can only get it online. Use our code Big O. You will get 10% off, and you will thank me. This will become your new energy drink. It will not be any other drink out there. You will drop your energy drink, I promise you, once you try Edge. That's how awesome it is. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. That's Marcel, Louis-Jacques.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.